Hello, this is Richard C. Wilson with the Family Office Club, and we're recording this virtual investor discussion panel during the virus crisis. It's April 2nd, but the topic today is on top multifamily office mandates. What are the larger family office wealth managers looking to do next? We have with us three panelists are with us here virtually here today. Might have a fourth one join in a couple minutes. We'll see. But Dr. Bryant, would you like to start out first, introducing yourself and kind of go down the line with each of the panelists?
Sure. Thanks, Richard. Appreciate you having us on. I hope everybody's doing well out there and safe and keeping your family and your loved ones safe. Just quickly, I think it's worth thanking those out on the front line today for all the doctors and nurses that are out there, first responders, keeping the rest of us safe. We really appreciate what you guys are doing every day. So thank you. My name's Forrest Bryant. I'm the CEO of High Speed Alliance. We are a multifamily office that caters exclusively to doctors and dentists. My background's in dentistry, practiced for about 20 years, so I understand what they go through. And we've got clients all around the U.S., and we help them with traditional investments, but also alternative investments. So we do a lot of real estate and help them in a lot of different real estate asset types. So I'm sure we'll get into that a little bit more, but we help them with scaling up businesses and exiting businesses. And we might come around to talking about what's going on in private equity world a little bit, because there's some certainly in the middle of the crisis, there's a lot going on. So sure, we can come back and talk about that, but also taxes is a big focus of ours. And then also nice returns on all the alternative investments that we do. So appreciate you having us, Richard. Looking forward to the discussion with the other panelists.
Yeah, sure. And Paul, what about yourself?
Richard, thanks for having me to join the panel today. I run a firm called Twin Focus Capital. We're based between Boston and London and Miami. We manage about $8 billion for 40 ultra high net worth families globally. We have a team of about 42 professionals, and we provide these families typically $50 to $100 million in assets on up with a single family office type solution. So helping these families really think through all aspects of their lives, from tax, legal, charitable, and of course, on the investment side as well.
Great. All right, John. I'm not able to hear you on this side, John. I think.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yeah, there we go.
Sorry about that. Yeah, absolutely. First off, want to thank you, Richard, for having me. Also, on the note of what Dr. Forrest was saying, I want to just say thank you to all the people on the front lines that are helping out, all the medical professionals and everybody. It is a crazy time, and we really do need to stand together to help this and help do this.
I can hear you, but it's super faint. I don't know if it's going to come out really great on the audio.
Is this better?
Oh yeah, way better. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that.
That's right.
So should I just start over then?
Sure. Might as well. No problem.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. First off, want to thank you, Richard, for having me. Always a pleasure. My name is John Leffler. I'm the Vice President of Acquisitions and a Wealth Manager here at Riley Wealth. We've created a team of specialists that have worked with other families and can adapt with your preferences and your life changes. We'll work with you through every step of life, from buying a home or an aircraft to planning for wealth transfer or sell your business. Whatever the event is, we're here to create and implement strategies that are tax efficient and supportive of what clients' long-term goals are. So our focus is on tax planning and general wealth planning. And on the investment side, we use public investments in the stock market, as well as alternative investments, both direct and through syndications.
Sure. Great. So I do want, like I said at the beginning, most of this to be helpful to people even after this virus crisis is over, since we're recording it for our members to watch. And so, but I do want to also comment on what's going on right now in terms of, what's the smartest kind of advice you could give, or you're giving most of your clients right now in dealing with their portfolios? Because I know a lot of wealth advisors are maybe starting to put positions on the market, or will once the the amount of U.S. deaths, tops out, like we were talking about, Paul, they predict maybe somewhere in mid-April, maybe it'll top out in the number of deaths per day. But how are you guys thinking about guiding your clients on when to come back in the market or when to be more mostly allocated back? If one or two of you want to comment on that.
Sure, I'm happy to comment from from a standpoint of the families that we work with. The families we work with are a little bit different, or maybe a lot different than folks that are kind of solely focused on retiring. When you've amassed $50 or $100 million plus, you really should be thinking intergenerationally, and whether it's intergenerational or objectives or charitable objectives, you should be thinking really longer term. And fortunately, these families have the luxury to do so. I mean, I think the biggest thing here is just sticking to the plan. Whether you have a little bit of money or a lot of money, is sticking to the plan. And hopefully, you weren't overexposed to riskier assets or equities coming into this. And these are the types of discussions and things you want to think through before a crisis, not kind of in the middle of a crisis. So when you're in the middle of a crisis, you can refer to the plan.
Right, right. Great. Forrest or John, go ahead.
Yeah, to kind of piggyback off of what Paul was saying, you have to stick with the plan. You can't be reactive. You have to be proactive, and so you can't just go sell out of your things way after everything had happened. And at that same token, you can't just go buy a bunch of things just because the rest of your portfolio had dropped a significant amount or even not so significant of an amount. You have to stick with that plan. And so with us, what we're telling our people is cash is king right now. So we're not raising cash by any means. We're not a seller in this market right now, but we're sitting on the cash that we have and waiting for other economic indicators and indicators in what's going on, because there's a lot of things happening other than just the coronavirus right now. And the coronavirus may be the thing that kind of popped the bubble from a financial standpoint with all of these other things, but there's a lot of other things going on right now. So I think just stay the course on what your plan is and sit on your cash and just wait.
Sure. Yeah, Forrest, do you have any comments on that?
Yeah,
You're talking to a lot of clients right now.
Yeah, sure. Some of the same. Obviously, one thing that we're really proud of right now is going into this. We didn't know this was going to happen, but obviously, coming off of an extremely long bull market, we've been positioning clients, to know that something was going to happen coming up down the road. And the portfolios that we build are really not contingent on what's going on in the public markets anyway. So the majority of our clients didn't even have a dip in net worth through this crisis. So we feel good about that. We had them well positioned with cash and access to capital. So we've got taking a look at some things, in the public markets for a lot of our clients that may have tax deferred accounts. We're really looking at doing some things like Roth conversions with that, taking advantage of what the market's given us. If they're down 20 or 30%, taking advantage of moving that over to the Roth side and getting that over in the tax-free buckets. And then also, there's going to be tremendous opportunities. I'm sure we'll talk about that coming up, but just being focused on opportunities that may be coming up in different sectors. So that I think that's a big one, and just focusing on the long term. And this is something that nobody knew exactly that something like this could. We were talking earlier. I mean, think about all of the businesses that are shut down. Las Vegas and all the casinos are shut down. The travel industry is shut down. Hotels are shut down. We had all these on the real estate side. Owners of single tenant, triple net lease buildings that thought that, they had these great, national credit tenants that were going to, always pay their rent. And then now they're not. So, we could have never predicted some of those things would happen, but we'll get through this and there's going to be some opportunities. Right.
So what are one or two things that each of your firms would like to be seeing more of? I know some of you just get so much deal flow, like Paul, I know you have 42 people and they're just constantly bombarded with deal flow. And you have a whole team that's kind of always overseeing the portfolio. But if there is one or two things, strategies, pieces of talent, could even be a new member of your team you're looking to hire right now, or a type of alternative investment strategy, like with some of our clients we've been talking about life settlement investments more. And we haven't found any credible litigation financing, firm. Everyone we find just does these one-off deals that have these huge binary risk, for example. So those would be a couple areas that are in discussion more often on my side. But do a couple of you want to share some things that you're focused on or that are short-term, medium-term interest for you?
I'll say our business is we're still in growth mode right now. So we are looking to scale up. We're still bringing on new clients, and it's just kind of pretty we're pinching ourselves a little bit that we're doing well in a crisis right now, but we're still in growth mode. So we're still looking for professionals to come on and help us with managing things on both sides, on the client side and on the sponsor deal flow side. I do, and I think this is a really great time. You mentioned life settlements. Permanent life insurance and life settlements. I mean, those are two risk off assets that you don't have to worry about currency risk, inflation risk. There's just very little that even damages that market in a time like this. So for some of our clients, as we're managing their dividends and cash value growth and permanent policies, I mean, it just click, and then the same thing with the life settlement industry. I love that. That's an absolute return, and I love a lot of the endowment funds have a nice allocation to that. And I think for family offices or for single family offices or high net worth investors that it makes sense to have an allocation there just because it's such a rock solid portion of the portfolio.
Sure. John, what about yourself? What's one or two things that your firm is